Let's welcome our host, Erica Wilson.
Great day, everyone. We're here live today with your girl, Dr. Erica Wilson, at It Had to Happen TV. But let me go ahead and bring on my intercessor, my partner, Miss Shawana McCloud. Welcome.
Hey, everyone. It's your girl, Shawana McCloud. As she said, welcome to HER-IT Unsilenced Series, where he speaks and she heals. Tonight, we're stepping into a conversation that is heavy but necessary. Falsely Accused Part 2. Because the truth is sometimes a lie doesn't just hurt. It redefines you in the eyes of others before you ever get a chance to even speak for yourself. Tonight, we're not just talking theory. We're talking reality. We're looking at stories like Brian Banks, a man whose life was altered by accusations that weren't even true. Yet the consequences were very, very heavy. And just like in Mark 14:55 through 61, when false witnesses rose against Jesus, we're reminded being falsely accused is not a new, but surviving it. That takes faith, identity, and unshakable truth. So tonight, we're having the conversation many avoid about pain, perception, and what it really takes to rise when your name has been under attack. So we ask that you lean in and enjoy our show.
All right. So without further ado, let me tell y'all, we're going to bring in the Will Baker. Welcome.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? I am Will Baker, your breakthrough specialist, and I am here to help heal.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about. We're back here on this Thursday once again. Y'all, listen, this month is almost over.
Already.
This is crazy.
Yes.
But that's all right. Let's go dive right on in. See, guys, you know what? Lies don't wait. They spread, right? Mm-hmm. They stick and they stain. And before the truth even shows up, right? Your name is already on trial.
Yes.
Just ask Brian Banks. We're going to talk about him tonight. And just like Mark 14:55 through 61 says, they lied on Jesus too. And they probably will continue to lie on you. So don't take it personal. So no, this isn't new, but what you do after the accusation, that's where power is built. This content is shared for educational, inspirational, and commentary purposes only. References to the story of Brian Banks are based on publicly available information and used to provide context and awareness around the topic of false accusations. Listen, this broadcast does not intend to defame, misrepresent, or harm any individual or entity. All views expressed are those of the speakers, right? Viewer discretion is advised. So, y'all, we're going to dive into this conversation on tonight because this is a bit, it's happening far too often, first of all.
Yes.
And
Yes.
last show, Will, you knocked it out the park last show. But I'm going to take a
Yeah.
yeah, my girl couldn't get in, but she got in where she fit in. When it was
Yes.
time for her to give a word of encouragement, she got in where she fit in, right?
Oh, yeah.
But
Mhm.
Yes.
it is tonight we're gonna do a little spin because I watched this show, Brian Banks. Have any of you heard of it?
I've heard of it. Yes.
I heard of it.
Brian Banks' story. But here's the thing, and this is why we have to be all so careful when we're dealing with others. But before we dive into it, we'll go ahead and tell greet the audience. Will, we did. You go ahead, handle that, Will.
Yes.
So I am Will Baker, your breakthrough specialist. I specialize in transformation and overcoming obstacles that stop people from being successful. I give strategy and I win. That's exactly who I am.
Ooh, I know that's right. He say, I give
Right.
strategies and I win. Y'all better learn how to talk,
Yes.
speak over yourself like he just did.
That's right. That's right.
Encourage yourself. If nobody else don't do it, speak over yourself and encourage yourself.
That's right.
My God, Will, I love that. I love that. So we're going to
Yep.
start off real quick with the story. But here's the thing. You both heard about the Brian Banks story. And the reason why I told you guys it was so near and dear to me, one, I have two athletes to be correct. And then two, I am I won't say victim, but that happened to me when I was younger. But just to see this young lady do this to this man, uh, it literally broke my heart. So I really want you guys to sit for a couple of minutes because I want to play the entire video and then
Yeah.
we're going to speak on it because it's deep. It's very, very deep. And I think every mother, parent, athlete, or anybody that's in contact with an athlete needs to watch the Brian Banks story. So you're going to
Yes.
be kind of like stepping in for Brian Banks tonight because we got a couple of questions. But let's watch the story and see how it unfolds.
What I want to say is that anyone
Yes.
who thinks that women are out there reporting, doing false reports of rape needs to ask the woman closest to them in their lives about this. Ask a woman that you know if she would do that or if she thinks that other women would do that, and you will get the answer no.
He's Brian Banks, the high school football star whose life was derailed when he was convicted of rape, a rape he didn't commit.
And this is the private eye who helped him get a second chance by getting the confession that exonerated him, setting him free.
Well, tonight, the inside story of how Brian Banks got his accuser to admit on hidden camera that she lied about his raping her.
Tonight, the I-Team's Joel Grover joins us with this exclusive story. Joel, it's just remarkable.
It absolutely is. And the man you're about to meet has so far stayed out of the limelight. But tonight, that's about to change. Now, Private Eye Freddie Parrish is telling the NBC4 I-Team how this amazing undercover sting went down that helped make Brian Banks a free man.
I did not know nothing about sex. So.
You're watching never-before-aired video of Juanetta Gibson and Brian Banks in the minutes before her stunning confession that she lied when she said the high school football star raped her 10 years ago.
This camera right here was in a plant.
This is the man who helped Banks get the now famous confession on hidden camera. Private investigator Freddie Parrish.
There's only one chance to get the goods. I mean, you got to make it right the first time.
Parrish's son played football with Brian Banks at Long Beach Polytechnic High in 2002, the time Juanetta Gibson made her false rape accusation. Gibson's family got $1.5 million settlement from the school district, and Banks got 5 years in prison and 5 more on parole, shackled with an ankle monitor.
So I know I'm not behind bars, and I know I'm not locked up right now, but I'm still very much incarcerated.
Then last year, Brian Banks got a Facebook friend request from Juanetta Gibson.
Mr. Banks called my son, Freddie, and asked him, what should I do? My son naturally says, hey, you got to call my dad. He'll help you with this. Once I was able to read the case, there was no doubt in my mind that this young man was innocent.
Parrish devised a plan to clear Brian Banks' name. He wired his office.
We had a pin like this
with hidden cameras.
sitting in this pin holder.
And with microphones.
We had put the audio device in that tree right there behind you. We saw
The private eye suggested Banks first invite Gibson to his office for a friendly chat about their past.
I lost all the scholarships, everything.
Brian Banks asks Gibson for help in clearing his name.
I will go through with helping you,
But she's afraid of losing all that money from her settlement.
all that money they gave us, gave me, I don't want to have to pay it back, all that, because that will take a long time.
Now comes the hard part. Banks had to convince Gibson to come back the next day and talk to the private eye who was helping free him.
I needed to get her to basically recant everything that she said that Brian did 10 years ago. If I let this man down, I would have to live with that the rest of my life.
The mood in the room was light, but investigator Parrish's questioning got heavy.
When did you lose your virginity? Was it after him, before him? After.
Now the big question.
Did he rape you? No, he did not rape you. Did he kidnap you? No.
When she said those things, what did you say to yourself?
Wow, I got it.
It was the key evidence that Banks' lawyers from the California Innocence Project needed to go back to court. And that undercover video got Brian Banks' rape conviction thrown out. Banks' lawyer, Justin Brooks.
Well, the videotape is a slam dunk in the sense that she's recanting her testimony. She's specifically saying that he did not rape her.
Parrish has had big celebrity cases and well-known clients. But this assignment had a different kind of payoff.
No, I had an opportunity to make a difference in a man's life.
And finally, what about Juanetta Gibson, who got all that settlement money after making a false accusation? We asked the DA's office and the school district if they plan to try and recover it. They wouldn't comment. But Banks' lawyer and private eye say most of that $1.5 million settlement has probably been spent.
You know, in fact, Joel, a lot of the neighbors and even some friends have come forward saying that money was spent left and right, and on a lot of things, including cars, a lot of cars.
It is thought that she's gone through, or her family has gone through most of that money. In fact, when she showed up for that meeting, she took a bus, didn't even have a car to drive.
28-year-old Atlanta Falcon linebacker rookie Brian Banks is one step closer to making his dream a reality after taking to the gridiron against the Cincinnati Bengals this week.
Nice job getting off a block and making a play.
It's still one of those situations where, like, you know, it happened, but like now it's just replaying in my head.
But this is no ordinary rookie. Banks joined the Falcons after spending 5 years in jail and 5 on parole. Why? He was wrongly convicted of raping a high school classmate. In May 2012, justice was served. The verdict for Banks overturned. The new ruling, not guilty.
The people's motion to dismiss this case pursuant to Section 1385.
I may not ever get the answers as to why I was supposed to go through what I went through, but I know that I'm here today and I remain unbroken.
In 2000. That's heavy. That is heavy.
Now, he had to sit in the room with her during this process. Will, if you were put in that kind of situation, where do you think his strength came from to be able to do that?
Well, you always got to go to God first, right? God in the faith. And also understanding he's been to jail. And if he do anything to her, he going back. He ain't trying to go back. He trying to get out. So, you know, he'd also thought that through. I'm pretty sure that went through his head. Like, man, we got this one shot to get this going. If I mess this up because I'm angry, upset, or get emotional, this is going to ruin everything. So he practiced a whole lot of emotional constraint, discipline.
Yeah.
You know, he did his thing in the faith. Because all you need is a mustard seed, right?
Right.
And he kept that, and he believed and did what he needed to do. Because I mean, a lot of men would have probably buckled under that.
Yeah, but the thing is, too, it kind of was a double jeopardy, right? Because you're not supposed to be in contact with your accuser.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But see, it had to happen.
It had to happen.
It had to happen because look, Facebook is not a bad thing, y'all. You know, social media can sometimes be, you know, a little too much. But look, she requested him on
Wow.
Facebook when he got out. See, you got to go on, you got to go see the story for yourself. Like, you really
Yes.
have to see the story and know
Yes.
all. And I just was like, oh my God, like that was nobody but God. Well, you
Nobody
said
but
it.
God.
You said that, first of all, you got to have the faith, you know, and
Yes.
then two, to know that here it is. She reached out to him and then was like flirting with him, wanted to meet up with him. So he kind of had, that wasn't just the first time coming in contact with her. They were going backwards and
Right.
forth, you know, on the phone. So he knew that this is my life. This is
Yes.
my life at hand. So
Yes.
what do I need to do? But Will, you said it perfectly. You said that it gonna take a whole lot of constraint because there's
Oh.
no, you know what? I can kind of see that.
Yes.
Because the thing is with me, one of my guys, not my guys, but one of the guys who did it to me, I went and faced him and I gave him back his baggage that I was carrying for 20 something years, right?
Yes.
So it was nobody but God because it was in a setting where we was at church, you know. So God had set it up. But just to know that this young man served 5 years, 5 on paper,
5
where did the system
years.
fail him?
Mm.
Or do you just think, ladies and gentlemen, that it's just something that just had to happen?
Yeah, 1.2 million, 1.5 million is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
And the fact that she got awarded that, you know, and then didn't even have to pay it back. Oh, I don't know if she had to pay it back, and I didn't really follow that end of the story, but you know, she just smiling and, you know, I just
Yes.
and I'm like, there has to be some type of consequence for that action because
Absolutely.
that's unfair. Because I mean, the whole thing is everybody fights for equality and fairness until equality and fairness is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, because it's like, well, where's the equality and the fairness? Do we need to march? What do we got to do? Because it's like that don't make any sense. So, you know, I always believe that if I believe I was just talking. Who was I talking to? I was talking to my sister today, and I was like, in a relationship, and I'm gonna say this because the points are almost the same. I say in a relationship, whatever I do, I have to allow the woman to do. So for instance, if I'm out talking to other women, I can't be mad if she's talking to other dudes, right? Because that's fair. That's equality. And it's the same thing with this. If he, because he should, I would have took her back to court and sued her or
Yes.
something. Or
Yes.
something, because equality needs to be factored in.
But see, he can't sue her for the 1.5 though, because the school
Nah,
paid her.
she ain't, but she ain't got no money though. So it's kind of
Yeah,
like
but
beating
that's what I was gonna say.
I mean, it's kind of like beating a dead horse. It's like for instance, like I had my son single father for 8 years before he went back to his mom, and I never put her on child support because I know she didn't have any money. That's like beating a dead horse. Why would I take money from somebody that don't got no money? It don't make any sense.
But
It makes no
then
sense.
where do it come in that you took 5 years of his life? You took
I do think
everything for him from his mother because the mother had to
Yes.
sell her house. She had to sell.
Yes.
He like had to put her
you
life
know what
on
I think would be fair.
Her go give that time.
I think that too. I'm like, I think whatever the person gets sentenced to and has to do, I think the person who lied should have to take that time and do it themselves.
And go do it. Yes.
I think that would have been fair. I think she should have got 5 years on the ankle monitor, 5 years in jail, and 5 years on the ankle monitor for lying.
Yes.
You know what? That's
And
why
that would teach people to not be lying on people.
Well, pretty much so.
But through the mercies of God, he doesn't even see it as we see it. If she truly asked for forgiveness from that, unfortunately.
But the thing is,
but a lot of men don't. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What I'm saying is, although we ask for forgiveness, right? We don't know how God really dealt with her behind the scenes. We can see that she blew through the money. That's first of all, because she didn't even have a car to get to where she was going. You know, she had to catch the bus. you know. But I see what you're saying too, Will, because if that was my son, you know, we taking it to the door, okay? Because the one thing that you don't do, you don't ever put anybody's life at jeopardy just because you're hurt or mad. You do not do that. You know what I'm saying? There's no integrity in that. That is, come on now. You put this man's life on the line, not just him. What about his mom? His mom lost everything.
Everything.
Y'all have to watch the Brian Banks story. Everything to try to save her son. And here it is, you know, and the people, oh my gosh, the attorneys was just draining them. And then
the attorneys,
my
they be eating. Attorneys, oh, that's, I mean, that ain't part of the that's not the reason why I'm going to law school at all. That's not it. Not for the money. It's not for the money. I tell myself that because it's more about the justice. But I do know I can get paid.
Right.
But then I was also I was thinking too, and I was saying like I've never falsely accused of anything, but then I thought about it and I was. And it has to do with my daughter's mom, right? So my daughter's mom ended up, so what happened was when she was born, whenever I got 3 kids. So whenever my kids are born, I don't sign nothing until I get that DNA test. Once that DNA test come back, that's when we go through all of that. Cause you know what I'm saying? I'm not dealing with all that. And so when I told her I'm not signing nothing and I want a DNA test, she said, "Oh, so you don't think she's yours?" What she did was she went to court the next day and lied on me and said that I tried to climb up a two-story window to attack her. Seriously.
Wow.
And said I tried to climb up a 2-story window to come get her and the baby. And they ended up giving her the restraining order where she kept me away from my daughter for the first full year of her life because she's mad. And
how long?
It's for a whole year, the first year. And I ended up running into her in public, and I ran into her just on the fly, and we reconnected. And she ended up apologizing to me, like, "Man, I'm sorry. Like, the only thing I did wrong to you was keeping you away from your daughter for the first full year of her life because I was upset." And I was like, "Because anybody knows me knows, 1, I'm not that type of dude, and 2, I am the most hardest working, laziest man you'll ever meet. I'm not climbing up nothing. I don't even take the stairs." If it's an elevator in sight, I'm not, bro. I'm like, what? No, that's not me. But because the laws and so much stuff has happened to women that got in that type of situation, they just went ahead and granted her because she was a new mother, and I had to stay away from my daughter. This is the first time I've openly said this about this part because of it. It can be diminishing to somebody's character because other people can think that I actually did it when I didn't. But because I know I didn't, and I understand that this is happening to people, this is not right. And so it took me everything in my power to not really hurt the girl, because I'm like, bro, why would you lie on me about stuff? Like, I mean, and in that scenario, I was hurt. I was really beaten down because as a father that cares for his children, when I couldn't see my child, my parental instincts of protection was going off, and my radar was like, where's my baby? Because I have to make sure she's safe. And I wasn't able to because I couldn't be around her, because if I did, I was going to end up in jail. That hurt more than anything. Like, that pain of staying away from my kid because I couldn't see her, like, really hurt. Like, my coach told me the story of Deion Sanders, and that's what got me through it, because Deion Sanders almost committed suicide when he was playing for the Cincinnati Reds because his mother, the mother of his children, was keeping him away from his kids, and that pain, because I definitely contemplated suicide. I contemplated a lot of different things over that situation because I couldn't see my baby. So I don't think that that's fair to a lot of people, that people go to court and use the system to attack other people and take them out of whatever they want because they in their feelings, they mad, they, whatever it is. And that's not fair. So yes, something should happen to people that go to court and lie, because perjury is it's supposed to be a criminal offense, but yet they let it go and they let it slide and they let it happen. not knowing that people's lives are being affected. People's lives are, and men already have to carry the burden of the world on their shoulders regardless, because we are here to protect everybody. You know, and it's a wild thing that's what, yeah, it's a lot of things that happen to a lot of people. And it just dawned on me today because I actually just had that conversation. I was talking with my sister for like 3 hours today, and we just had real good conversation, and that ended up coming up. And then as you were speaking, that dawned on me. I said, whoa, wait a minute, that did happen to me. Not in that instance, but I was falsely accused of something that I didn't do. And this is how I felt when it happened, because it's not right. And so I still have to look at her, and to this day, now we're cool. It was 5 years ago. It was 5 years ago. A lot has happened. A lot of time has happened. You know, I learned law. I learned the courtroom. I learned how to handle myself in court. So if I do get lied on, I know how to defend myself and get and make it straight, because I understand the verbiage. I understand what it takes to be in the courtroom. I understand a lot of the lingo. It's all about lingo and verbiage. You know, when you in court in the parental thing, you have to say natural parent and not custodial parent, because natural parent equals equal playing field, which means whatever right she has, the other natural parent has too. So then if a judgment is found where I was on one side wasn't found as equal, then now I can challenge it, because no, natural parent means what she does, what she gets and what she does is the same thing as what I get and what I get when it comes to the best interest of our child.
Oh my God, he's teaching us something tonight.
I understood. So I learned the courtroom, and I learned how to move in the courtroom. So then when it comes to things happening, I learned Supreme Court law, learn how to do that, learn how to write up documents. Like I typed up a document, she's like, who typed this up? I said, I did. They was like, this looks official. I said, because it is. I did it. What you mean I'm the best? You messing with a winner. That's all I do is win.
I know that's right.
I said, the only way I lose,
Wait, you're
yeah, I said the only way that I lose.
You're going in and out, Will.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So
can't hear you. Can't hear you. You're on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So I say
yes.
The only way that I lose is if my loss is strategized in my win. I'm a winner. But one thing I will not do is be lied on, especially in court, to feel how I felt before. Because I tell you, that pain of being away from your child when you know that you love this, like, look, it got so bad because when she was first born, I was right there in the hospital with her, and I'm asleep, and I roll over and I look, because you know daddies get the uncomfortable couch, you know, we don't get no pillow or cover, you know, and so I look over and I see
a pillow.
Yeah, I need something. And so I look over and I see my baby is gone out her baby bed at the hospital. I get up like, where's my daughter at? And forgot that nurses come in to take them to change their diapers and stuff to get them ready. And I'm like, where's my baby at? I'm about to go hunting for my daughter. Like, bro, no, where's my baby at? Like, nah, I had to come back to my sense. They just doing their job. They took her to go change her diaper. She'll be back. So, but that pain of being away from your child because somebody lied on you and then having to forgive her. Like, I had to really forgive her. Like,
don't go into that yet, because I want to ask about that. I want to ask about that. But sis, you hearing all that he's saying, Lord have mercy. You know,
yeah, I forgot all about that.
It's deep, but the thing is, you even brought somebody else up in it that I didn't even know Deion Sanders' story. I did not even know.
Oh, yeah.
But
Deion Sanders, he'll tell you about it. Yeah, he almost committed suicide. He was suicidal on the Cincinnati Reds because he was going through that thing. Like, and my coach told me that, and he was like, Deion Sanders went through that. And I was like, that's one reason why I want to go talk to Coach Prime, because I was like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Your story helped me get through one of the toughest times in my life. And I appreciate you for being strong enough to go through what you go through and inspiring us. Even if he see this today. If you see this, I'm talking to you, Mr. Sanders, I'm saying Coach Prime, because For real, because we go through things and you don't know whose story is gonna help you get through it, and that
That's
pain,
true. But
bull.
see,
Because
this is why we have programs like this. You see what I'm saying? He speaks, she heals. Because the thing about it is, like we said, a lot of hard conversations are not being had. It's just really being swept under the rug, or people are feeling embarrassed to even tell their story, or something like that. But just hearing that she got mad because you asked for a DNA, and then boom, now you have a what was it, a protective order or something?
it
where
was
you
a,
can't.
it was a restraining order where I couldn't legally see my baby, her, or her other kids, and I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, and I'm just sitting there lost. My mama, she trying to figure out what's going on. My family trying to figure out what's going on. I'm just going through it. Like, and I'm competing at the time too. So I'm getting ready for shows, and the fact that I'm getting ready for a show. So bodybuilding is a hormonal sport where you have to be in very control over your stress and hormones, because if you once cortisol sets in, all the muscle that you used to build and get stronger gets dissolved and turned into fat, which defeats the purpose of what you're doing. And then when you get on stage, you soft, you're not showing your definition, you don't got no lines, and you lose the show and lost all the money, the hard work, and the discipline that you use. So I had to learn how to walk with a calm face, control my stress levels, keep them down, learn how to, and go through what I'm going through. So
that is so disheartening, though.
It
Hearing
is.
It is very much so disheartening hearing that. So, sis, go ahead and ask your question, because I have some too. Because I'm just like, that is just whoa. And it don't affect just you. You understand? There's a whole other realm. Just like if it it affected his Brian's mom. You know what I'm saying? His family. That was homeless. You know what I'm saying? At one point, because she was trying to save her son. But here's the thing, and who stops the thing? Where is the morals and the values and the integrity of people?
But a lot of people don't have them.
Jesus,
a lot of people don't have morals, values, and integrity, because a lot of people, what they do is live in this world inside of their own head instead of living in reality. A lot of people had this whole made up imaginary place in their brain that tells them that the world is this way, instead of using the eyes, ears, and visualization of what's actually going on in the world. And he's like, oh, well, where are your morals and values? They don't have none.
They have none.
They weren't taught. They weren't taught to have them, because they were entitled. A lot of people are entitled to certain things, and I don't really want to make this a gender thing, but a lot of pretty women that have been catered to and given everything in their whole entire life live in this la delusional land that everything's supposed to be given to them because they're pretty. And I'm like, that's not reality. So then when you meet somebody like me that's handsome, that cancels out your pretty, what else you bringing to the table?
You better talk about it. You better listen. That's gonna be a whole nother show. We can get it, but that's deep right there now. That's deep.
Yes,
but here's the thing. Sister, I want to ask her question, so I'm gonna ask mine and I'm gonna give it back to her. So my thing is, even so, when going through that, right? What do you do when truth is real, but nobody believes you? Like in your case, Will.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, everybody believed that I didn't do it, so I didn't have that problem. It was the courts that granted the permission of the whole thing. My mama knew I didn't do it. My brothers knew I didn't do it. My family knew I didn't do it. Her family knew I didn't do it too. They like.
But see, here's the thing, though: the people that matter need to know that you didn't do it.
And so it was just because I'm looking at them. But you also got to look at it too. This is why I carry myself a certain type of way, is because 1, I'm black. 2, I have muscles. So because I'm black with muscles, when I enter a room, I'm always deemed as intimidating. So I've learned to put a smile on my face to become less intimidating, right? Because I come off as intimidating, and I'm the coolest, chillest person you'll ever meet. I don't fight. I ain't about to go through all of that. Look, my back ain't the same back I had when I was born. This somebody switched it out one day. This back hurt. Like I ain't doing. I'm not doing all that.
I know that's
And
right.
so when it comes, so with the judges, like I didn't know court. I've like growing up, I never got in trouble, so I never had to be in the courtroom. I've never had to experience any of that stuff, so I don't know how things work. I'm like, I don't get in trouble. I'm like, I don't like jail. Ain't no women in jail. Ain't no women. I'm sorry. Ain't no women I want in jail. I said it don't make sense to go to a place where ain't no women, ain't no money, ain't nothing that I like out here in the free world in jail. So that's 3 strikes right there. Why would I go? Why would I put myself in the position to even go to a place like that because of anything? It doesn't make sense. That's just my personal standpoint on that whole thing. So I do everything I can not to go. So when I went to the courtroom and I'm looking at that and I'm telling them to say, so did you da. I'm like, man, I'm looking at him like I'm talking to him like I'm talking to y'all. Like, man, I ain't do that. Like, man, come on, man. Nah. But I also understand now that I'm black with muscles. And I also understand in court you have to use verbiage. And I should have came with paperwork. I should have came with Supreme Court law. Should have came with certain things if I didn't have a lawyer, because I would have understood, like, well, I could have brought up some Supreme Court case laws of people lying and certain things like this, that, and the other, and actually fought a solid case of what she was, because I was like, well, where's the proof? Because first thing I would have said was the police weren't called. So if it was really that big of a problem, the police would have been called, an incident report would have been placed, and we would have had the proper documentation of it actually happened. But there was none of that. And because there was none of that, that would have been my solid case of fighting that to get that taken off, and we could have moved forward of me just being with my baby.
Wow. Wait, so how
You see
who
what
did
I'm
she
saying?
call to say that you had? But who did she call to say that you tried to climb up the?
She didn't call anybody. She just went downtown and filled out a PTO. Nobody was called.
Wow.
She had to call somebody.
She called nobody. She went down to the police station, filled out the paperwork, and then I would have just said that was hearsay because there's no documentation. Police wasn't called, because if that was the case, you would have called the police. If you was really scared, you would have been in the house, called the police. Hey, it's a crazy man outside. You know, I really need, like something like, hey, none of that happened. None of that happened. You took your time, waited. I don't know. I don't even think it was the same day. I think she probably went down there another day and was like, hey, so this happened. And wait a minute, what? But
I'm just at a loss for words. I am really at a loss for words. Sis, you
when it comes with people, a lot of people, and what I learned, and my baby mama actually taught me a lot of different things, like how to be emotionally strong, because being away from my children takes a certain amount of emotional strength.
Yeah.
And it takes a certain, but also because I have that certain type of emotional strength, it allows me to do the type of work that I'm able to do now with kids and helping them in different things. Because now
I was going to say, in the midst of the Bible tells us that it's working together for the good. Right. But when you're in that, you don't see it. You just be like, well,
you don't see it. You don't see that. I'm like, bro, I miss my baby. But now, I'm able to. I've learned emotional compartmentalization, which is taking anger and pushing it into working out, taking sadness and putting it into a keynote, taking happiness and putting into and taking the happiness and actually just enjoying the moment. Right. So now I'm also
that you can't change.
You can't control. You can't change nothing you can't control. But then I also realized you have to, what I did was I said, you know what? I said, look, we could put all that behind us. Let's move forward, because it's not about. I said, because the only person that's suffering is our daughter. She missed her daddy. She missed her daddy.
That's the number.
It don't matter how you look at it. It don't matter what happens. She missed her daddy. And I know that because when I see her, she gives me the biggest hugs, and sometimes she does not let me go. And I just let her hold me, because it's times where I don't get opportunities to see her because of our relationship and how and how it's stemming off, and how, you know, and I have to let the mother just be emotional and be like, well, she has this to do and this, that, and the other. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, all right, well, you know, I'll catch her. I told her, I said, I'll catch her when she's older. I'm not about to fight you to do this. I said, I'll catch her when she's older, and I have everything documented. I have everything documented. I have everything of all the times that I tried to see my baby, all the times that all the stuff that I've done, I had set up and stuff for this to happen. And then because she's gonna come asking questions.
Yeah.
I got a book. I got a whole book that's wrote up. I got every court document that every court that me and her went through. Guess what? I bought the transcripts for her so our daughter can see what happened. I got the transcripts for all our court records. Now I can't release them to the public because then I can get sued for defamation of character and all that other stuff. But
so
our baby can.
How you could get sued for defamation of character, but it was done to you.
Yeah,
I can.
We just talked about.
And I can. And so the thing is,
right? You know,
and the
that's
thing
just
is,
crazy to me. But wait, hold up, Will. Sis, come on in because you're quiet and we didn't have you last time, so we need you. Come on in.
Listen, I'm taking
the words.
I am taking this all in because it makes you wonder, like when people do things like that to defame someone else's character, you gotta wonder, like, what state of mind are they in, and like what's their motive, you know, because some people have different motives. Some people do it for retribution or revenge, just simply because they want revenge against you because they can't, you know, narrate, they can't put their own narrative in the story. But and then it also makes me think now, because mental illness is so heavy and it's so prevalent now, you know, amongst our young generation and in society now. And I could imagine like a lot of people who's dealing with like PTSD, depression, and mental illness, a lot of them went through things or were accused of things that they didn't do, but they didn't have a community or a strong family bond that stood behind and supported them. So they had to fight this battle on their own. And some people don't have the mental capacity or the emotional intelligence or the emotional strength to fight it on their own, and they just give up. And they just give up. And then you know what? It causes mental illness. Like a lot of people that you see now that are homeless, like things like that happen to them. And then you know what? Somebody didn't believe them. Someone got someone to, you know, believe in their story, and they gave up on life. They lost hope. So guess what? They're out there and they're homeless. It's not that they don't have a home to go to, but they don't have community to help back them up, and, you know, and build them and give them the strength that they need. That's why when I see like homeless people like in the front of the store or on the side of the road, and people turn their nose up at them or look at them funny, and I say, don't look at them like that, because I always try to see the good in everybody, even though, you know, there's good and bad in all of us. The best of us, there's some bad, but I try to see the good, because behind that young man, there's a sir. Behind that young lady, there's a ma'am. And all it takes is somebody to come in and embrace them and encourage them and just hear their story.
But guess what? Why is it that you can see the homeless person or the person that's on the street and they have the biggest smiles and the best attitudes? And some of us who have a roof over our heads and whatever it is that we need, we could be walking around with like some snobs. What? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Even what you saying that, like, Miss Brian's mom, God bless her soul, because I would have did the same thing for mine, but she lost everything. And just to know, like, it didn't stop. It kept going and going and going, because he was saying how he was in jail for X amount. Just go see the story. You have to see.
I'm gonna go see it.
I watched the movie. It's a movie.
Yes, it's a movie, and I'm telling you,
I did see the movie.
Right, and I watched his interview yesterday. I bought the movie, but I have to go and watch it. I'm gonna watch it tonight because it was kind of watching me last night. But because I was watching I watched his interview. He did a live interview, and just to see this man talk, let me tell you, it was a point to where he was even trying to protect her about, and that's why I say I ain't giving it away. Go watch it and see for yourself. It was at a point where he was trying to protect her because he has so much. God, he has so much respect for women. He said,
You know what it
so he
is?
didn't want to put it out there.
Wow.
What it is because it's in our it's so one of the reasons why women weren't allowed in the army back in the day because it was a liability. And because what happens is men, what we typically do, despite whether or not we want to or not, we are genetically modified to make sure that the women are okay. And if we're in a combat situation and we hear a woman yell for help, we will turn our head and do what we can to protect us, and we will put our own body at risk. Now we done lost a soldier, probably one of our best, because we done heard the woman scream, which can be damaging. That was part of the reason why women weren't allowed in the army back in the day. Now, moving on to today, the reason why he probably didn't was because he's genetically modified to protect the woman, despite whatever she did. Not only that, in the Black community, we're used to the abuse from our women.
Yeah.
We're used to it. It's natural.
Wait. Oh, Will.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there.
No,
I went there.
Yeah, look, I'm sitting.
I went there.
Yeah, go there because I need to hear this, and then we.
I can give my own personal examples because my mother, I was adopted, so my adopted mom got me and she raised me, and when she raised me, I had to realize the reason why I was picking the type of women I was picking is because they mimicked my mother's behaviors and personality traits. And I thought that was love when what she was showing me was not, because I was kicked out at 15, and you don't tell your child that you love them and then you kick them out because they don't understand life.
Stop right there. First of all, I see what it is. Now, I'm not I'm not saying that your feelings are not valid. That's not what I'm saying here. What I will say is we have to stop the stigma of putting down, like the Black women is tearing down the Black men, because
so that's not what I was saying at all.
I know that's not what you're saying, but I'm putting that out there.
That's not what I was saying. But what I'm saying is that what happens is what I was saying was that the stuff that happens, I was used to. So the way my mother treated me, where she would do me wrong and treat me bad and then cover it up with some money and say, here, baby, take this, here, something to eat. Here's this, instead of saying, I'm sorry, you know what, I was wrong. I didn't mean to do that, but here's what we can do to fix it, because that's how I raise my children. Whenever I do something wrong or I do something crazy to my son, I say, son, daddy was wrong. I did not need to do that, and I really apologize.
But you know why you did that? Because it happened to you, so you knew that you didn't want to mimic that behavior. See what I'm saying? So you said that your mom didn't love you. Maybe that's the only love that she.
No. I didn't say she didn't love me. No, I didn't say that. No, what I said, what I was saying was that what she was showing me was not love, but to her that was love.
That's what I'm saying.
And so because to her that was love, but what happened was I also picked women that loved me the same way as her, where I had to go through abuse. I gained my very first kid. I gained almost 100. I gained almost 100 pounds because I wanted to deal with the stress and wanted to be with the love and try to figure out how to make this work. Like, seriously.
Okay. Right.
It was very stressful, and I had to learn how to love myself. Like, once I learned how to love myself.
Let me get a word in.
Go ahead.
Real Talk Universal says, speak, brother. Here's the thing. This is where a lot of ships fail. I don't care what it is. First of all, I want to say, if you said you were adopted, right? And this happened to you by who?
This is my adopted mom. So what I'm doing right now is also giving the perspective of the man too.
Right.
At that.
So let me show you. First of all, the woman who gave you life, who gave you life, gave you up. So you're going to be bitter from that point on anyway. Watch this now. Watch what I'm saying. The one person who brought you into this world gave you up. You understand? And for whatever reasons, I don't know. But what happens is a lot of times when kids are given up by the very people that brought them into this world, or even have the parent that's not really speaking life and doing what, that love thing that you're talking about. But here's the thing. This is why I go deeper. Sit down and talk and see what happened in her life. You understand what I'm saying? Because it goes
And
deeper than
so
rap. But hold
you
on, let me
right.
finish. So it goes deeper than rap. But watch this though. The one you say that she was hard on you. I'm going to go to the 15 thing, because you said that at 15 she kicked you out. And here's the thing. Would you want anyone around you that's abusing you and not listening to what you got to say?
So I have two different perspectives. You only let me give you a piece of what I was saying instead of letting me tell you the whole story, because it was
Right?
more
Because
to
you
the
got to let me
story.
come in too, though. But what I'm saying
Because
is, this is why we have an open dialogue. So now
So
that I
it was
said
more
what
to
I
the
said,
story, because I also would have
okay,
told you my part. I would have told you that as I got older, I learned about the accountability piece, but I also understood that in certain ways that I had to learn how to love myself, where
yes,
I had to unlearn what love was or what love was being shown to me. And I learned how to love myself. Now I don't get treated like you're not about to treat me how you think you about to treat me because you thought that was love. Nah, I'm going to show you how I want to be loved. And if you don't follow that, then you can either do what you want with that, and vice versa. Show me how you want to be loved. Teach me how to love you so I can love you in your
love
way.
languages. You have to learn each other
I
love
have to.
languages. You have
I
to.
have to.
But
But
what I commend you on is you said that the way you are with your son. See, so you knew not to give your son the same treatment, basically what you
Yes.
had, right? So
so
I
it's certain things
commend
that
you
I
for
did
that.
pick up. Thank
Right. No,
you.
but I'm
I
saying you
appreciate
said
that.
that. Yeah, I commend you for that. And the reason why I say I commend you for that, because you have so many people walking around and say, well, I did this because this happened to me. They carrying that. But you don't have to, better, you do better, right? So
Yes.
if you knew the love that you wanted to get, you're able to give now, it's saying that you got some type of love. You got
Yes.
some type of
You
love.
got to. And so it's a
So
lot, that goes into play with that in terms of
yeah.
your kids. Like, and learning love. Learning love is a whole different topic we could talk about another time too,
Oh yeah.
because it's a whole different thing, especially when like going back to what you were saying, where I sat down and I talked to my birth mom. I'm cool with her. And
Sure.
I was mad at her for a very long time until I realized she went through exactly what I went through. My birth
See,
grandma gave her up for adoption. So I
that's
said,
what I'm
oh, okay,
saying.
cool. So I had to
Yeah.
forgive her for what she did. And then even my adopted mom, it's certain stuff she went through where it's like, I understand why you did what you did. I get it. But that does not make it less painful that it happened. Where
Right.
now I have to also understand, because you keep telling me you love me, you love me, you love me, but then you bring me a sleeping bag on the porch and told me good luck. Like, so it's like you knew I was home. It's a lot of stuff that has happened to me in my past that that people have done to me that they called as love. And now that I'm older, I'm like, I never do that to my kids. I never do that to somebody
See,
that
this
I
is the
love.
thing. You right. You have to understand, like, oh my God, come on, Holy Spirit. You have to understand that
Yes.
a person can only give you, what you talked about earlier? You talked about entitlement. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You
Yes.
talked about the woman being entitled, right? Watch this. God, yes, Lord. You talked about the woman being entitled, right? But
Yes.
here's the thing. You're expecting too much of you out of other people. And they
Yes.
I
can't
have
give
to.
you they
You
can't give
right.
you, yeah, they can't give you that because maybe they don't know how to,
They
or
don't have the capacity.
right, they don't have the capacity to do so. So this is what I'm saying. This is why so many ships fail, whether it's a relationship, a friendship,
Yes.
or whatever it may be, because we're expecting us out of other people, and they may
Yes.
not even know how. That's why it's called same grace. Same
Same
grace.
grace.
And so, and that's
Same
why,
grace.
and this is
Hallelujah.
something that
Same
I
grace.
do as a coach, because I'm a coach, and because I'm a coach and a trainer, and I can now say I'm 10 years in
Yeah.
as a coach and a trainer. And also I'm my training style is mind molding. I mind mold before I do anything else. So I train the mind first. And so one thing that I do in terms of teaching And this is why I say, like, I have to teach you how to love me, where I have to see if you're coachable or even have the bandwidth, like you were saying, of even being able to receive what I'm teaching you. Because if I can't teach you how to love me and you're not open to, because if you're not open to receiving that, then we have to part ways. And I don't care who you are, because I'm not going to be treated less than. No, it's unfair if I didn't give you the opportunity. If I didn't show you the grace at first, if I didn't be patient with you, because I'm not saying like I gave you one day. No, I gave you months. I give you months because I understand the learning process of people. People don't get things over day. But if I give you time. I show you grace. I show you empathy. I show you patience, and I also show you what it takes in order to love me. And I also wait, and I wait for myself too to learn you as well. And I'm like, okay, so this is what you want. I just had a conversation with a client, and this client's getting ready for a show. And when we first started, it was okay. Well, I got you. She getting her results. I mean, she looking good. Her body's starting to shape in. She's leaning down. She's getting all the results she wants. Now we're switching it up and we're boosting it up a little bit. Now she's asking questions. And I said, wait a minute. This part of the process is where you need to trust me the most, because now it's getting detrimental. And so we had this conversation, and I said, look, I need you to trust me, and I'm going to trust you. And she said, but Will, I'm an analytical learner. I said, okay. So what I'm going to do moving forward, and this is how I am. I say, okay, so what I'm going to do moving forward, when I give you your moves and I give you the instruction, I'm also going to tell you why I'm giving you this as well, because this is what you need. This is your version of love. You need me to tell you this, and I'm going to give you that.
So here's my thing. Same grace is what I keep hearing the Holy Spirit say.
Same grace.
Same grace.
Yes.
Because
same grace.
God, I mean, give me the words to say, Lord.
Yes.
I can't hinder the Spirit, Will, and I won't. I'm going to give you what thus says the Lord.
Amen.
You say that you don't, you kind of like gave her time, right?
Yes.
But here it is. That's your choice to make if you want to deal with her or not. That's totally your choice. But where we lose people at is when we go to telling them what they need to do.
Yes.
Because first of all, you talk to a child like that, not an adult. Because if you want me to speak to you in that manner, you said it earlier, speak to me the way you want me to speak to you. Because at the end of the day, you can't come. You don't know what her trauma was. Just say you were talking to me like that. Because anybody that talks at me, they lose me. I could be sitting here, I could listen. Hold up, let me finish. I could look at you and you'll think that I'm listening to you, and I'm lost. I'm somewhere else. Because the one thing that I don't think people have to do is talk at people. You need to talk with people, right?
So
and I'm gonna tell you this, Will, and I'm gonna
the communication is misconstrued on your perception of how I communicate with other people in terms of teaching them, because you have to understand
what you said. You can't tell
me, but the delivery, the delivery with other people is a totally different. I didn't get 10 years in the game of being successful of not knowing how to communicate what I need to communicate.
I never said that. Wait, I never said that you don't know how to communicate. Stop. Hold up. What you're not going to do to me on here, on the show, that I don't want anybody to think that I am really trying to be mean to somebody, or I'm saying something that's not said, because I never said you don't know how to communicate. Never said that. That's not what I said. I'm only giving you. So my thing, what I will have you to do, Will, is you go to God and ask God to show you, because I'm only giving you what was given to me. This is not even me speaking right now, because at the end of the day, what I like to do is I like to always put myself in other people's shoes. Always. And I want to show the same grace, and I want to be given that grace as well. But my thing is, what you cannot do and will not do is to say something that I said and I did not say it. I done dealt with that too long, and I will not allow it anymore. I usually be, draw up in my shell. Not no more. Not no more. So like I said, what you have to do is you have to go to God and you have to ask God what he sees for himself. Never said that you don't. However you coach someone else, that's how you do it, brother. And I commend you for that. And you say you've been doing it 10 years, so 10 years it works for you. At the end of the day, I'm not saying to change anything, but I'm telling you what I see, what the Holy Spirit see, first of all. And I
Yes.
would not allow anybody to hinder the spirit. If God says give it, I'm gonna give it. That's why I said, God, give me the words to say.
Yes.
You
Yes.
understand? But I see, Will, although you say, good God Almighty, although you
Yes.
say that you talked to these women, you forgave them. Have you forgiven yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good. I've done all the self-healing and internal work that I need to do to move forward. That's how I'm able to move and help the people that I help. I'm good. I've done all of that. I'm
Okay.
I'm I'm past all of that. Healing, you can't hold on to things in the past and expect to get the things that God wants for you if you keep holding on to old burdens. Need to let go
Look,
because you
wait, hold
only
on.
have
I
enough.
have to laugh, right? I have to laugh. I guess Instagram thought we was on here arguing, so they cut us off. They cut us
Who,
off.
Instagram?
Yeah, wait,
Oh,
they cut
gosh.
us off. You see what I'm saying? I never had this to happen though, but the thing about it is that's so crazy. Oh
That's
my gosh, they cut us
that's
off.
funny.
That's why I was looking to the side
Wow.
because I'm like, wait, what? So, but no. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, I don't want you to ever think like, because what you do is what you do. I don't know you. I'm learning you, right? So my
Right,
thing
right.
is, I'm speaking off of what we're talking now and what the Holy Spirit is showing me. And I would want you to do
Right.
the same. This is what how the people I want in my life. Because I don't see certain
Yes.
things, Will. I don't see certain things. And I may see them, but I don't want nobody else to see them, right? So,
Right.
but what
Right.
I want is someone to be able to correct me. And I want to be able to take the constructive criticism. And I want to be, because I want to be better. I don't want to
Yes.
be bitter. I want to be better because if I'm coming into people's lives, right?
Yes.
Especially
Yes.
if they're hurt, if they're coming for coaching sessions or they're coming for empowerment or they're coming for X, Y, and Z, I don't want to hurt the people anymore.
No. Mm-mm.
No, I
I
do.
want
So at my old facility, you have to realize like I have a mental health background where it comes to dealing with mental health and building up blocks and all of that stuff. So I do actual therapy sessions with people. I've had people sit in my chair and literally we will sit there and talk and I would actually give them strategic mental barrier strategy. Now I'm not a licensed therapist, but I understand the mind to the point to where I can actually coach you through certain things. Like I've had women come tell me some of the most personal, intimate things and sit there and cry in front of me. And I would say, you know what? And I would talk to them and we would go through it. I would find out their communication style just by listening to them. Because you have to
see,
understand
that's what I'm
because you
talking
have to
about.
have
That's what I was trying
personality.
to say.
You have to have that's what I'm saying. Like I've been doing this for a while. So when it comes to understanding, you have to pay attention to communication
Yeah.
style, the personality. You have to understand, like my mentor told me, you have to serve it to them in the cup they can drink from. Right. But in this, on this, we giving unfiltered thoughts. We giving out realness here. And so
Right.
when it comes to, because some of this stuff needs to be unfiltered because we have to, some of the stuff that we talking about, if we null it down, the impact won't be as strong because we dulled it down. So we
Right.
have to give it to them, bro. We have to give it to them a certain way.
So let me ask
Where
you this.
if we on a one-on-one thing, like me and you were talking, we sit there, we talk, had a conversation, and I would really be able to get to know your communication style. So we would run smooth through stuff and really go to boom, boom, boom. Right. And same to you, because your communication style is totally different. My communication style is totally different, and personalities and stuff. So it's like you getting to
So let
know
me
and
ask you
do all
this.
that type of stuff.
Let me ask you this, and since I'm gonna pass it to you, have you ever been wrong about somebody or something?
Of course. And then we make adjustments.
Exactly.
You have to be adaptable and make adjustments because it's like, okay, yeah, just like my client. Like I was telling you earlier, I would give her the instruction and she would do it. But then later on, she ended up telling me, like, look, Will, you got to tell me why I'm doing it. Okay. I apologize. I didn't know that was what you needed. So now that I know that's what you need, guess what I'm going to do moving forward? I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you the instruction I need you to do. But then I'm also going to tell you why I'm doing it and the benefits that is going to help you, because your brain and you need that. So I was wrong about communicating with her, but this is all a learning process, right? So
Right. That's
I
what I
didn't
was.
know off the bat.
Yeah.
So then I have to go. But this is people. But then a lot of times this is what happens.
Yeah.
When you have that roadblock, people shut down
Right.
because
And that's
they're
why I say
not
you have to
willing
talk
to
with
communicate
people.
with you.
Right.
Right. So they're not willing
Exactly.
to communicate with you and tell you what's going on. It's like, okay, because if you don't let me know what's going on, I can't make the adjustment. And if I can't make the adjustment, guess what happens? You quit.
But no,
And if you
you
quit,
have
guess
to
what you
build
gonna
a
do?
safe space for them to bring it to you. It has to be, because
Right.
some
So
people may not feel like it's a safe space. So,
Right.
if I don't feel like if it's safe, should I really tell them or tell her? You know
well,
what I'm saying?
it all depends too on the situation, on what the problem is. Cause it's a lot you like. I've had, like, when I tell you, I've had people, like, I got a brown chair. You sit in my brown chair, you get comfy, we talking. We
He
gonna
got a
start
brown
talking
chair,
about some real
y'all.
stuff for
Yeah.
real. And we're gonna talk about real stuff, because real stuff needs to be talked about. And because I also understand the only way you gonna lose that weight, the only way you gonna get your life together is if we uncover that mental, emotional stuff that's holding you back on why you gained it in the first place.
Okay,
So I
but
have to uncover that first. I uncover those layers first in terms of the mind, because you're not going to want to lose weight. You're not going to change your negative patterns. You're not going to want to do better in life because you're holding on to certain things. And those are the things that are prohibiting you. And once you let those go and become free, then you'll be able to start wanting to do more. You want to be able to start
Brother
losing the
Walt
weight.
say,
You
don't
want,
be a quitter. Right. I get
right.
that. Don't be a quitter, right? I get that. I get that. I get that, King. But here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, what we have to understand is the person, one, has to want it. You can't want it more for the person than they
Yeah.
want for themselves.
Mm-mm.
That's number one. Number two is same grace. I'm gonna keep going back to that.
You got
You have
to
to
show people
understand
grace.
too, right? You have to understand too, like, if one is struggling with their weight, right, or whatever it may be, or the thing is, I'm gonna say this, and this is just funny. My thing is, I may be a little thick and I can lose weight, but you may be ugly and you can't do nothing about it.
Ain't nothing you can do about it.
But that was just a little joke. But here's the thing. So here it is. If I'm going and I'm taking the first step to just say healing, because we're talking about falsely accused, right? So let's say I'm taking a first step of healing, but then it's something that you may say that may trigger me and make me kind of back in the shell. See what I'm saying? You didn't know that was my trigger, but I did. So this is why I say all I'm saying is just kind of be careful with dealing with folks, because especially
You have
nowadays,
to.
so many people are dealing with something. Everybody is.
They
Everybody's
are.
going through something, right? So at the end of the day, I just say tread lightly, know how to approach the situation. Since we over, y'all. It's 7:08.
Yeah.
My rapid fire question.
I'm deep in.
But that's also comes with coaching and teaching as well. It comes with coaching and teaching and learning people, because you have to understand that people go through things, and when they go through things, you have to also understand, like, it's certain things that I don't do in terms of boundaries. Like, if me and you were talking, I would never bring up the fact that something happened to you in our conversation, even if that was part of the topic. I would never bring that up. Why? Because I don't know I don't know what's going to be said afterwards and what's going to be said before. And so what I do is, I don't know also how you're going to react, because now I also know that you could go back into your shell. So I never bring up those facts. I never talk about tattoos. I don't care how bad I want to know about your tattoo and why you got it. I will never ask you why, because it could be a triggering reason to why you got it.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Tread lightly. We have to be careful how we
You
approach
never
it.
know.
So before we jump into the rapid fire questions, so y'all know this gonna be another whole conversation because I'm telling you, Will.
You know this
First
is
of
what we
all,
do. You know you my
but I'm
girl.
just
You
gonna
know
tell you,
you know you my
if you
girl. You know
thought,
how we do.
but if you thought that I disrespected you or did, miscommunicated or
Nah.
anything, I totally apologize because that's never something that
No,
I
you
intend.
you fine.
That's not my
You
character.
fine. I
Yeah.
apologize as well if you felt anyway, because one thing I know about this podcast, and one thing I learned about you is that your heart is pure and it is in the right
Yes.
place.
Yes.
So despite whatever we go through, if it seems like a disagreement or anything like that, I also know you coming from a place of love and wanting to
Yes.
help. So
Thank you.
that's not it's never a question other than that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, because I know you're not trying to hurt nobody. You put this whole production on to help heal people. So why
That's
would I
right.
think you trying to attack anybody? It don't make
Right.
sense, right?
Well,
So,
Instagram, y'all
but
need to know
we
that
go,
Instagram.
Yes.
but they need to.
Yes.
But hey,
Instagram say,
they was like, it's getting too real in there. It's getting too real in there. That's what's happening, man. They in there.
Right.
But yeah, let's.
Look, somebody on Instagram convicted.
So sis, if you have anything to leave, questions for Will before I jump into the rapid fire, so he can get on out of here.
I just love the effective communication here. I love the openness. And I would say to everyone, we're on here, we're human. We have human moments, we make human error. But as we this is not just dialogue and conversation, but this is ministry. And as we minister to our listening audience, we're ministering to ourselves, because
Yes.
sometimes God allows us to unearth some things that we didn't even realize that are triggers. But as long as we keep the open line of effective communication open, we're healing you, we're healing ourselves, we're unearthing things that we didn't even know that we still deal with. So I love it. I love the dialogue. I love the dialogue with Will. I love hearing your heart. I love hearing where God is taking you. I love hearing the place that you are, because I can see some things for you in the future, but I'm not at liberty right now to speak those things to you. But at that appointed time, God will have me to release that word to you.
Yes,
I'm just here to sit back, listen with not just my ears, but listen with my heart and listen through the Spirit of God as He gives me the words to say. But I'm loving this tonight.
Yeah, this is good. So let's jump into this rapid fire. Sis, I love that. I love that. And see, that's what I'm saying, Will. You got two powerhouses up in here, boy. You have two powerhouses,
Yes.
and then you bring the man
yeah.
side. You know what I'm saying? So it's all love.
yeah.
How I go? It's all wait, how the
Yes.
song go? It's all love. I can't sing, but
Are
okay.
you talking about that? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's one of my favorite songs. I like that song.
Yes. All right,
Yes.
let's go. Let's do this. What was your first emotional response when you realized you were being falsely accused?
Is it really happening? I mean, I guess
Did
I'm
you
sad, mad, angry, upset.
So did you ever feel like defending yourself, or did you choose silence?
No, I was like, man, forget this. I just obeyed. So in my personal circumstance, I obeyed the order and stepped away. I said, all right, whatever.
Okay.
Which was best for me anyway, because I was getting ready for a show and I needed to focus. So, I mean, in bodybuilding, you got to isolate anyway. Isolation is the key. You have to isolate and stick to routine. So it kind of worked, but I also had to, suffer. But the pain made me strong. So
Okay. Yeah. So what did that season reveal about the people around you?
that they people. I mean, something about life. Life is a one-man sport. You just happen to be playing it with other people.
That's good. How did you rebuild trust after your name had been damaged?
Real trust. I just didn't talk about it, so nobody knew.
But how did you rebuild the trust back with her, though?
But I'll rebuild it with her. I stopped caring about the stuff I couldn't control. I realized this is who she is. That's who she is. And it's like, okay. But then, I learned law, so I learned how to fight back. So now she don't bully me no more in the courtroom.
Okay. What kept you grounded when everything felt out of your control?
Yeah. Hey, I learned the courts. Hey, because I was just talking to the young men. I'm gonna make it quick. I said you got to know what arena you in and learn how to fight and play the rules, or
That's
they
right.
gonna keep on. And so once I learned the rules to the game, I wasn't getting punched no more.
Okay. That's it right there. Y'all heard it here at It Had to Happen TV, the HER-IT series, Unsilenced. He speaks, she heals. Falsely Accused, Part 2. And we just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in here with us tonight. Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and we still love y'all Instagram, even though y'all kicked us off.
They kicked us off.
We still love
you
y'all. We still love
all,
y'all.
And again, guys, this is all love. This is a platform to my journey, my pain, my purpose. And we never, we get up here and we're us. I suck at trying to be somebody else. I'm gonna tell you that. I am me.
Don't never do that.
Me too.
Be you.
If you see a flaw,
Me too.
please do let me know. I don't mind. I do not mind.
Yes.
And that's one of the things, because we're all a work in process,
Yes.
So at the end of the day, continue to just same grace. That's all I'm gonna leave you guys with. Same grace, same grace. So here we go.
Same grace.
This topic tonight, falsely accused, part 2. Being falsely accused doesn't just attack your name. It tries to shake your identity. But let this be clear. What God has called you cannot be undone by what people call you. Come on now. I need y'all to hear me what I said.
Yes.
Just like
That's
Jesus stood in truth, right? Even when lies surrounded him. Them people tried to find every lie, everything. Tried to come up with so much. You understand? So much. But you know what? He said something at one point, but he remained silent during most of it.
Remained silent.
We feel like we just got to talk back, right? So, but you can stand too, people of God. Please do.
That's right.
Because truth doesn't need defense. It needs time. Okay?
That's
so
it.
Without further ado, we thank you all for tuning in here with us at It Has to Happen. And what we would like you to do, if this message has spoke to you, please do.
Yes.
Don't just watch, share it. I'm sure you know someone that can resonate with what we're talking about. Again, Instagram shouts out to you. Someone you know is fighting a silent battle right now. Someone you know is fighting a silent battle right now. So send this to them, start the conversation, and make sure you subscribe and stay connected to It Had to Happen TV. We cannot do this without you, and you, because we're not just telling stories. We're setting people free. God bless each and every one of you. I'm going to leave the floor really quick if you both want to say anything to our audience, because I'm telling you, they stood here with us. It's 7:18, and they stood here with us. So we have Walter. I'm sorry. Let me say it right. We have Real Talk Universal all the way from Boston. Did I say that right?
Yes,
Boston. And to each of you who did not comment that's in the building, we thank you. Thank you so very much. Please lay around. Monday, y'all, I forgot about that. Monday, we have a young woman that's coming on, Will.
Yes.
She said, I had to leave. Live.
Yes.
Yep.
That's deep right there. So I'm gonna give the floor to you both, and go ahead and take us on out.
Yes, I just thank you guys for just joining us, taking time out of your busy schedule just for an hour and some change, just to dialogue with us. And we just are so grateful for God for allowing us another opportunity to just come in and, enlighten someone, to inspire someone, to help someone unearth some traumas. And we just hope that something that we said help trigger something in you that would inspire you to keep pushing and moving on. I always ask God to allow us to be just vessels of light to someone, that they may see him through our lives, and build and build with us their trusted community. Thank you again for dialoguing with us, and I cannot wait to see and dialogue again on Monday at 6 p.m.
Miss Jackie.
Right. Miss Jackie said good night to each of you.
Good night.
I can tell. I can see the picture. Great night. And then Real Talk Universal said Boston. I don't know.
Boston. All right. Yeah.
So Will, if you would like to say a little something to the audience.
Understand that life is all about perspective. And how you view this perspective also determines the outcome of how you're going to perceive the rest of your day, life, and everybody else's as well around you. So I always remember perspective matters.
All right.
When there's a will, there's a way. Gotta say this catchphrase.
You heard it here at It Had to Happen TV. This is the Hear It season. Guys, we're already on episode 5. Still season 1, but episode 5. Listen, you want to get in the room. And if you would like to be a guest on It Had to Happen, please do go over to my website at www.ericawilsonIH2H.com. Again, www.ericawilsonIH2H.com. We'll love to have you. Listen, don't be afraid to tell your story, because your story, it happened to you, but it happened for you to share with someone else. So until next time, guys, we love you all. Will, thank you. Shawana, thank you, sis. Thank you both for dedicating an hour and 21 minutes.
Right.
Job well done. Oh, we have one more comment before we get out of here. Jackie says, hello. Hello. So God bless you. And Miss Jackie, sorry about that. Let me I don't know. She might be so to me, because Miss Jackie, my last name Wilson too.
That's my mom.
Okay. We never know. You never know. So God bless each and every one of you. Please do follow the social media platforms as well. And it will let you guys know all about what we have coming up, what we got going on. And then when our merch drop, we want to send me your address. I need to get you your merch. Okay. And since I'll bring yours when I come. I'm coming soon. So I'll bring yours when I come. So God bless each and every one of you guys. Until next time, meet us back here Monday, God's willing, for the young lady, Miss Stacy. Lady Stacy. I had to leave in order to live. Good God Almighty. Meet us back here. God bless each and every one of you. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Hey, this is what's going on.